Hello coin collectors out there, welcome back to the Big D Coins channel. Here on this channel I share with you some of my cool coins, give you a little bit of information about the coin and tell you what to look for your own collection. So this video is going to focus on coins from 1942, a pretty interesting year. So we have the 1942 halfpenny from the United Kingdom at the top here. We're going to look at this coin right here. We have a Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mint wheat penny. We have a Jefferson nickel at the bottom here. In 1942, they produced both the copper nickel clad nickel as well as the silver wartime nickel. So we're going to talk about that. And we have a Walking Liberty from 1943. I know it's not 1942, but it's the best I could do. So we're going to talk about all of these coins. Let's get into the American wheat penny to start with. So here we have the 1942 pennies. Now this video is kind of going to be a little bit of a break from my most recent videos, which I've been making about mostly just error and variety coins. So this one is just going to talk about kind of the basics of these coins. They're all kind of valuable and they all can be found in circulation. So here we have the 1942 penny. It's mostly copper. It's 95% copper, 5% zinc. The wheat years reverse was made from 1909 to 1958, and then they switched it over from 59 to 82 with the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Now the Lincoln Memorial is still on the back after 82, but they switched up the metal content. So 59 to 82 has the same metal content as 09 to 58, and that was 95% copper, 5% zinc with a weight of 3.11 grams. Now, the year after this coin was made, in 1943, they switched over to the fabricated steel cent for World War II, so that they could use the different metals for the war efforts. So the melt value of this coin is 2 cents. That's based on today's prices. So these coins are actually worth more in melt value than their face value. Let's talk about the mintages as well. So there were 32,000 proof coins made. There were 657 business strikes from the Philadelphia. As you can see, this one on the left right here is from the Philadelphia. It won't have a mint mark on it. There were 206 million made at the Denver, as you can see by the middle coin here, and 85 million made at the San Francisco. San Francisco generally tends to have the lowest mintages of all of the mints. Now you can see my coin right here has a little kind of dent in the rim. I think that's just some post-mint damage though, so it's not any variety or error. I think just poor handling of the coin. The coin was probably tossed around a lot in circulation. You can pull these coins while coin roll hunting. You can also get them very inexpensively on eBay. So here's the reverse of the coin. This is known as the wheat ears reverse. And as I said earlier, this was made from 1909 to 1958 is when this reverse was on the coin, before they switched it over to the Lincoln Memorial the following year. All right. Now, the next coin in the 42 series is this one right here. Now, this is a 1942. 1942 was an interesting year for the nickel because they switched it partway through the year from the copper nickel clad to the silver. So this one right here is the copper nickel clad one. You can tell by flipping it over and looking on the reverse, if it has the big mint mark at the top right there, that indicates that it's one of the silver ones. But this one right here, not one of the silver ones. This one is 95% copper, 25% nickel with a total weight of 5 grams. So the melt value for this coin is 4 cents, so just a little bit under. The real melt value that you want to look for when looking at the 42 nickels is the wartime nickel. So that's a little bit different. World War II prompted the rationing of many commodities. Nickel was highly used for armor plating, and Congress ordered the mint to remove the metal from the 5-cent piece. effective October 8th, 1942. So most of the year they had copper and nickel, and then they switched over after October. And this one right here is the copper nickel one, but the silver one is 35% silver, 56% copper, 9% manganese, with a total weight of 5 grams, giving it a melt value of 92 cents. So the melt value of the silver nickel makes it worth a lot more than the face value. So let me give you the mintages. First, we're going to share with you the mintages for the copper nickel 1942 nickel. All right, so there were 49 million of those made at the Philadelphia Mint, 29,000 proof coins, and 13.9 million made at the Denver Mint. Now, from 42 until 45, those are when the wartime nickels were made, and then they got back into the copper nickel in 1946. So let me give you the mintages for the wartime 42 nickels. 57 million made at the Philadelphia Mint, 32 million at the San Fran, and none at the Denver in 1942. They made some at the Denver in 43, but not in 42. All right. So let me flip it back over here. So you can see, as I said, the key identifier that you can tell that this isn't a silver nickel is that it doesn't have the large mint mark at the top right there. This is just a classic copper nickel, but it's still pretty collectible. If I were searching through nickel rolls, I would definitely pull out this or anything that's from the 40s if I found one in my roll. So the next coin up in this showcase of 1942 coins is this one right here. This is known as the Walking Liberty. It's a very, very nice coin. It's got a lot of detail, which is, I think, why the mint kind of shifted away from making it in later dates. So the Liberty, the Walking Liberty, a $50, was made from 1916 to 1947. It's got a face value of 50 cents, but it's 90% silver, which is really going to drive its value. So 90% silver, the remaining 10% is copper. On the obverse of the coin, you see Lady Liberty walking and holding an olive branch. On the reverse, you see a perched bald eagle. Now, this is considered by many to be the best designed coin out of any of the silver coins, just because it's beauty, but it's also got a lot of detail to it. So physically, it was very hard to make these, but when they did make them, they came out very nice. So here's the perched bald eagle on the reverse side, looking mighty nice right there. So the melt value of this coin is kind of way up there because it's a heavy coin. It's 12.5 grams and it's 90% silver. So it has a melt value with today's prices of silver at $5.8, $5.80, I guess is the more normal way to put it. All right, so you probably want to hear the mintages as well. I'll give you the mintages for 1943 because that's the coin I have right here. 42 were actually much lower. So in 43, there were 53.2 million of these made at the Philadelphia Mint and just 11 million made at the Denver Mint. So let me zoom in on some of these details for you. You can see up at the top here, we've got some olive branches that Lady Liberty is holding. She's kind of walking into the rising sun. Very nice detail on this. So we can see 1943 at the very bottom. Now on the reverse, you saw the perched eagle. So a pretty nice looking coin right here. Very nice indeed. So he's looking mighty strong on the back. All right, and the next coin I have in this series is this 1942 halfpenny. If you're asking yourself, why haven't I seen the halfpenny before? Well, you probably don't live in the United Kingdom. I'd assume that's why. You probably live, like most of my viewers, in the United States. So this halfpenny was made from 37 to 48, so a relatively short mintage period. Its metal content is bronze. I'm not sure the exact metals that make up that bronze combination, but The reverse of the coin features a three-masted ship. This was Sir Francis Drake's Golden Hind, sailing left with the denomination above the coin, face $half, and the date below the coin. So this one's got some very nice detail to it. In 1942, there were 71.9 million of these made. So there are quite a lot of these made in 1942. These are a cool collector piece for people like me in the United States that don't see these very often. Unfortunately, they're not super rare based on their metal content or really their mintages. As I said, there were 70 million made in 42. Looking at the other years, they're pretty comparable to that. So many millions of these made with, I'm guessing, mostly a copper in the coin. So I'll recap what we looked at here. We had this 1942 halfpenny. We had all three of the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Ears penny. We had a 1942 nickel, copper nickel clad nickel. We had this stunning 1943 Walking Liberty $half coin. So if you enjoyed this video, please do like, comment, subscribe. Check out some of the other videos on my channel. Hopefully you have a great day, everyone. Take care. Best of luck coin collecting. Enjoy.